Hello everyone, RV here. Happy Friday. Happy IndyCar Eve as IndyCar is back this weekend. Cars go on track in, I believe, 2 hours from now or an hour. I'm not sure which. Practice starts soon. But anyway, we are here to make some predictions about this IndyCar season. I will make three predictions. Well, four actually. Rookie of the Year, Indy 500 winner, and obviously champion, and then the rest of the top 10 in points. So let's start off Rookie of the Year. And I believe this year's Rookie of the Year is going to be one of the closest Rookie of the Year battles ever. We have three drivers, one coming over from Europe with the new team Prema, and the top two in Indy next last season. Let's start off with the newcomer from Europe, driving for the new team Prema, Robert Schwartzman. Robert Schwartzman, he's coming over from, he was in Formula 2. I don't know where he was after Formula 2, but he was a Ferrari Junior Academy driver, a Ferrari reserve driver, was close to getting into F1, had a really good F2 career, but then kind of floundered. I believe he was in WEC with AF Corsa, so a Ferrari team. So, Prema announced the team. He was signed. He's raced with Prema before in F2, as well as Callum Ilott. I believe they were teammates at the time, so they reunite. And I honestly think that Robert Schwarzer is going to be a really fantastic driver. Not right away, but I believe over time he's going to get used to it, and I believe he's going to be a really big factor in the sport. Now let's go to probably the most shocking driver signing, I'll have to say, of this year. Jacob Abel. I did not expect him to jump up to IndyCar. I thought he was going to stay in Indy next, but no. Dale Coyne needed a team to collab with, and Abel Motorsports and Jacob Abel happened to be that team. So Jacob Abel will drive for Dale Coyne Racing with sponsorship from his own team, Abel Motorsports. And I think Jacob is going to be a solid driver. I think he's going to finish last out of the three rookies, honestly. Not because of his equipment, but I don't know. I don't think this is going to be a good year for him. I don't know. He was really good in Indy next last year. If it wasn't for a dominant season from the next rookie we'll talk about, he would have been the champion. But I mean, I don't know. He kind of got signed pretty late in the off season. I think it was, Dale Coyne signed their first driver in mid-January. So, I think because of that, now, albeit we don't know when he was signed, but it was announced in January, I'm going to assume they signed it and then they immediately announced it, kind of like what happened with his teammate Rinus VeeKay, who got announced literally last week as the last driver on the grid, as Dale Coyne always leaves their driver lineups really late. And I think Jacob Abel is going to finish third in the Rookie of the Year voting. I think he'll be in it, but not really. I think it's going to come down to Robert Schwartzman and my pick for this year's Rookie of the Year, Indy Next champion of 2024, Louis Foster. This man was dominant in Indy Next last year. He was in the top two, felt like damn near every single race. He was always a factor. He deserved his ride, and Rahal Letterman-Lanigan replaced Christian Lundgaard with the Brit, Louis Foster, who I believe is not going to run away with Rookie of the Year. I believe Robert Schwartz is going to keep it close, but I believe Louis Foster, who is in the best equipment out of the three, at least we think. We don't know what Prema is going to do just yet. Prema could be really good, to be fair. But Rahal, when they have a capable driver like Christian Lundgaard, like Graham Rahal, they can win races. Albeit Graham hasn't won in a long time, but Lundgaard did win 2 years ago at Toronto in that 45 car, which is what Louis Foster is driving this year. He is driving the 45 car. Graham's in the 15, and the what seems to be the weak link at Ray Hall, the 30 car, is going to Devlin DeFrancesco. So, besides Devlin, I think Graham is going to really help Louis develop, and I don't know, in a few years, I think Louis Foster could be a really big name in the sport. If it's not with Ray Hall, it's not with Ray Hall, but he could take Ray Hall to new heights in the coming future. And Louis Foster, I believe, will win Rookie of the Year. So, now we move on to the Indy 500, where there is a chance for a three-peat. Joseph Newgarden has a chance to do what not many drivers have done before. I take that back. No one has won 3 straight Indy 500s. Joseph Newgarden has a chance to do that. There's a lot of people who've won back-to-back, but this is an extremely rare feat. Do I think he will be up front at the 500? Yes. Penske will be strong. Arrow McLaren will be strong. I think Andretti will be strong. Ed Carpenter will be strong. Chip Ganassi will be strong. Do I have Joseph Newgarden winning his 3rd straight 500? No, I don't. I do not have Joseph Newgarden winning his 3rd straight Indy 500. Because I'm picking his teammate. I think Will Power is going to win his 2nd Indy 500. And honestly, I think Will Power, he had a really good season last year, as did the entirety of Team Penske. Besides Joseph Newgarden after the 500, he was very hit or miss. But he did have 2 wins. Technically 3, but 2. Because of the whole push-to-pass scenario, scandal, or whatever you want to call it. But Will had a really good season. He pushed Palou to the last race of the year, albeit if he didn't make some mistakes at the latter part of the season, he could have made it even closer and challenged Palou, but unfortunately at Nashville, his lap belt failed twice, and he wasn't really a factor. It basically ended the championship on lap 15 and gave it right to Palou for his 2nd straight and 3rd overall. But Penske swept the front row last year at the 500. Will was probably the weakest of the 3 Penske cars and did end up crashing out of the race, I believe, with under 50 to go. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was the last caution of the race. But Will's got the experience. He's won this race before. And I don't know. I feel like he's going to battle it out with his teammates. I think Pato will be up there. Scott Dixon will be up there. Colton Herta, Santino Ferrucci, Marcus Ericsson, to name a few names. Alexander Rossi. I don't know. I think it's going to be a very competitive 500 this year, but I think Penske's going to win. Penske will three-peat, but it won't be with the same driver. I think Will Power is going to win the 500 this year. And hot take, I think that's going to be Will's only win of the season. So, if you're only going to win one race, win the 500. That's what I say. And now, my championship pick. There's another three-peat opportunity. Alex Palou is trying to be the first driver to three-peat since Dario Franchitti at the beginning of the 2010s. Ironically, Dario drove the number 10 Chip Ganassi car, which is what Palou is driving. There's only been 3 drivers to ever three-peat as IndyCar champion. Dario, Sebastian Bourdais, and I can't remember the other gentleman's name, but he was a long time ago. He raced before any of us were even born, basically. And I'm sorry to that man. I think Louis Horn, I think his name might have been. I don't know. I'm sorry. It's leaving my mind. But yeah, I think Palou will be up there, but I don't think he's going to win the championship this year. But if he does, I won't be surprised. Scott McLaughlin, I think, will be up there. Colton Herta, I think, will be up there. I honestly think Kyle Kirkwood will be in there. I think Will Power, obviously, and Scott Dixon. Um, but honestly, this man had a really good season last year. Finally, finally won again. He won 3 races last year. One because of the St. Pete situation, and 2 actually on track, which was nice to see. He hadn't won on track in a very long time. I believe 2 years it had been since this man last took the checkered flag in Iowa 2022 before he won at Mid Ohio in 2024. But man, oh man, I think this is the year. He came so close in 2021. If it wasn't for issues later on in the season and Palou putting it away at Portland, I think he would have won the 2021 championship. But I mean, this feels like a year. This feels like the man on my shirts year. I feel like Pato O'Ward is going to win this year's championship if he can just be consistent throughout the entire year. That's what's killing him. The consistency of the 5 team is the problem. They're just not consistent enough to beat the top teams, like the 10 team and the 12 team and the 3 team and the 2 and the 9. Like they're so close. They are so close to figuring it out. And I think this will be the year that Pato will break through and elevate his racecraft into being a top 3, top 5 finisher every single week, damn near. And I think that's what it's going to take for Pato O'Ward to win the championship this year, which is what I think will happen. I believe Pato will be the champion this year. So I'll just go ahead and run through my top 10. In second place, honestly, I think Scott Dixon will outbeat Alex Palou. I don't know why. I think this is going to be a big year for the 9 team. I don't know. It's something about it. As Scott Dixon, he's going to try to tie AJ Foyt in winning 7 championships in IndyCar. He hasn't won a championship since Alex Palou got to Ganassi. And the road's going to be really hard, but I think the championship's going to go down to the last race in Nashville. But I think this will be the year. I think this will be the year where Scott Dixon beats Alex Palou or did he in 2022? He might have. That's really the only thing that's held Palou back was the contract situation with McLaren and Ganassi. That distraction really took him out of the chance of a 2022 title. So yeah. In third place, this is where I'm going to have Alex Palou. Fourth, I'm going to have Scott McLaughlin. Fifth, Colton Herta. Joseph Newgarden, I think, is going to come home in sixth. Hang on, I got to think again. I just forgot my top 10. Oh, shit. Pato, Dixon, Palou, McLaughlin, Herta, Newgarden. Okay. Will Power I have in seventh. I honestly think AJ Foyt's going to have a big season. David Malukas, I think, is going to finish 8th in the championship. And then Kyle Kirkwood, I'm going to have coming home in 9th. And P10 will be the other AJ Foyt driver in Santino Ferrucci. I think AJ Foyt Racing will win a race this year with Malukas or Santino. That's my, I guess, hot take of the season. But yeah, that's my IndyCar predictions. Thank y'all for watching and supporting. See y'all later. RV out. Peace. IndyCar is back. Let's go!